Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we have an update on what happened in court yesterday regarding the death of 4-year-old Chloe Darnell. And the Pike County Detention Center is working towards reintegrating inmates into the workforce and preventing reincarceration.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 6:30 on November 28th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, I know that you said you've received some reports of maybe a few flurries out there this morning. I know I saw some yesterday, and we're definitely feeling it in the air, that's for sure.
Exactly, but look here in the last 6 hours how they're starting to kind of fizzle. Okay, they're kind of getting a little bit more close to the border, so I think they'll be out of here. And right here is the cloud deck that's already pushing out with the cold front. So this thing is moving fast. So hopefully you might see a few flakes when you go out today, but I don't know if you'll see that many like you did yesterday. Okay. Anyway, let's get into the forecast and take a look at downtown Hazard, which is where Olivia was yesterday for Cyber Monday there. And you can see all the folks got the decorations out there getting ready for the Christmas season out there. And we're going to continue to see, again, some cooler temperatures out there this morning. 27 Moorhead, 27 in Wise, 28 Jonesville, 27 in Jacksboro. But everybody else is in the low to mid 30s right now. I think they're going to take a hit really quick once that front gets through here. Those wind gusts, you can see those arrows kind of pointing. They're mostly from the northwest at this point. Irvine 16, Prestonsburg 17, Pikeville 16. And when you factor in that wind chill, we're in the 20s and teens across a lot of the region out there this morning. So the breakdown for today, up to about 34, I think, once the cold front goes by, and you'll see those clouds start to clear out pretty quickly as we head toward mid to late morning. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. Officials with Leslie County Schools say due to illnesses in the community, they have canceled all classes district-wide for the rest of the week. Staff at the district office tell us the cancellations begin this morning and remain in effect through Friday. And COVID and flu numbers are increasing in various parts of the Commonwealth. Some county health departments say case numbers are the highest they have been since the summertime. Experts say there has been a spike in illnesses, but there could be more than we think.
For people who were gathered with family, friends, or just were out in the community this weekend, keep an eye on those symptoms: body aches, fevers, cough, sore throat.
Hall says the good news is that hospitalizations are so much lower than they were during the peak of COVID. He says experts are not seeing deaths related to COVID or the flu right now, and they hope to keep it that way. Hall recommends staying home when you are sick, washing your hands, and monitoring your symptoms. A 4-year-old who died in a southern Kentucky home was subject to severe punishment, so much so that her caregiver had to step in to stop it. But that caregiver and another man are now charged with her murder. The victim is 4-year-old Chloe Darnell. The woman who had custody of her and another man are charged with murder. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what was said during a court hearing Monday morning.
Investigators executed a search warrant on a home on Oval Lane in Whitley County, which followed a missing persons case involving Brittany Slaughter and 4-year-old Chloe Darnell, who is related to her and in her custody.
We noted what we thought was blood spatter on the front porch.
Slaughter had partial custody of the little girl and admitted to police that she didn't want to be found. She and Hayes told police the girl fell off a short shelf in her room and they tried to revive her, but she died. Emergency services were not called.
She was high and didn't want to be judged by people, by family.
But Slaughter also said Hayes from time to time would severely punish Chloe for messing herself.
Brittany indicated that she would on occasion have to step in.
There are still a lot of unanswered questions with this case. More will be known once the autopsy results are finally in. At that time, the prosecutor also tells me they may know more about the murder charge, whether this is intentional or wanton. There was testimony Chloe had various injuries on her body.
There were notable fractures, I think around the face area, some around the skull, and some rib fractures.
Prosecutors say the question now is if those injuries were inflicted or incurred during the burial process. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The judge did find probable cause to send the case to a grand jury. The Pike County Detention Center is working to address re-incarceration one inmate at a time. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about a program that is preparing inmates for their futures.
A partnership in Pike County is reimagining reentry.
You know, a lot of inmates, upon getting released, they go out and when they seek job opportunities, when employers hear they just was released from jail, they shy away from them.
Goodwill Industries of Kentucky recently received a grant for more than $123,000, which was used to partner with the Pike County Detention Center to address recidivism.
I think the most important thing that the system can offer an inmate is the reentry. That's one thing that's overlooked.
The program will target 50 inmates from the detention center and help connect them with the resources to get into the workforce.
There's money and counseling there for drug addiction, but when the inmate is released, they're released right back to the same standards that they had before they was incarcerated.
Counseling is also part of the program, bringing in Apple Red Legal Aid and Mountain Comprehensive Care to address mental and legal concerns.
I mean, we do as much as we can in-house here with our inmates, but it's the help from the outside entities.
Jailer Brian Morris says the program is about more than help. It is about hope.
My biggest hope is these 50 individuals that's released will see a better tomorrow.
And with Goodwill's recent announcement of its new Aspire program, which plans to provide similar services to hundreds of incarcerated individuals.
What I wish for most is when this grant ends, we can renew it and get another one and help 50 more.
He hopes it is only the beginning of the new beginnings. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Goodwill representatives say the new Aspire program will expand on Goodwill's reintegration services. We now know the cause of a train derailment in Rockcastle County. Officials say a failed wheel bearing on one of the cars is what caused the derailment. People were evacuated from their homes the day before Thanksgiving as crews worked to clean up molten sulfur. As of Sunday morning, all of the released product was removed and about 2,500 tons of impacted soil was replaced with clean material. A Florida man is behind bars after police say he hit another man in the face. Last Thursday, deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office were sent to Sherman Lane, which is about a mile from London. Deputies ended up taking 29-year-old Roger Parker of Florida into custody. He was charged with fourth-degree assault and was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. In Letcher County, 2 people are facing charges after a traffic stop. Jenkins police pulled Emery Mullins and Samantha Callahan over Sunday in the Fleming Neon community. When the officers searched the vehicle, more than $1,100 in cash and 7 ounces of meth were found. Mullins was also driving on a suspended license. Both Mullins and Callahan were taken to the Letcher County Jail. 4 people are behind bars after multiple law enforcement agencies were involved in a drug bust in Letcher County. It happened last Friday at a home on Highway 160 in the Kings Creek community. During the raid, police discovered more than 20 grams of meth as well as 54 grams of marijuana, more than 280 pills, and nearly $1,700 in cash. Lona Griffey, Teddy Collins, Shanda Boggs, and Shannon Napier were arrested and taken to the Letcher County Jail. Officers with the Paintsville Police Department had an interesting holiday weekend. Officers were called to VIP Fuels for a call of a fight in progress with weapons involved last Friday. When they arrived, they found 28-year-old Christian Grace of Paintsville in possession of a knife. Police determined he also had meth, drug paraphernalia, and pills on him during a search. Grace was arrested and taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. The weekend full of shopping deals did not end yesterday, as they were available online for Cyber Monday, and several local businesses with online stores participated as well, saying this gives folks from across the country and beyond the opportunity to shop small and gift items from right here in Appalachia while enjoying a discount. Appalachian Apparel Company owner Joey McKinney says they have seen great success thanks to the internet.
There's a lot of people that can't come here, so being able to offer those services all over the world and see our stuff shipped out to all over the country and all these different places, and then we see it on social media, it's really cool to have that connection with the customers that may never make it to our store.
McKinney says through the years they have shipped out items to all 50 states and 8 different countries, and he says Cyber Monday gives them the opportunity to say thank you through a holiday discount. Former Kentucky Governor Paul Patton says Andy Beshear might be the last Democratic governor in Kentucky for a long time in a now red state. Patton, who is a Democrat, served as governor from 1995 to 2003. His comments came when he sat down with us yesterday for Issues and Answers. Patton talked about his new book, The Coal Miner Who Became Governor, and the current state of politics in Kentucky and the nation, including Governor Andy Beshear being reelected.
He was already an incumbent, and that means a lot. He has done a great job, and the people recognize it. So he's faced some really tough. I thought I had some tough issues, but then his father came along and had even more tough issues, and then he came along and had even more tough issues. And he's done a good job. The people recognized it.
Patton is now 86 years old and still lives in Pikeville.
Coming up on 641, we're taking a look at Buffalo Mountain this morning, and it's not too bad up there. 32. You can tell the camera's shaking just a little bit. It's a little bit breezy up there this morning, higher elevation, and of course, it's going to be a factor for us pretty much all day. Wind chills in the 20s, temperatures in the 20s and 30s, and you see Irvin is down to 30 again. So we're just trying to wait and see how this plays out. I think that cold front still on its way through the mountains, and that will cool us off as we head toward mid to late morning. Another cold day ahead, no matter how you slice it. Sunshine to end the month of November and a soggy start to December. Olivia?
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Georgia is remembering one of their own today as the former First Lady Rosalind Carter's memorial service continues.